Okay, so the first thing we want to do to get this set up is to make sure that when we open a PDF that we get Adobe Reader. So we want to make sure that we're looking at Adobe Reader here. What we're going to do is set up this default email system here. So if we click on that, it's going to ask us what we want. Most everybody's using an Outlook client, so I would leave that like that and click Remember My Choice. That way you won't have to choose this every time when you come through. Hit Continue. What that's going to make is a work order or an email with whatever PDF you're looking at in it. And that'll be important later because you'll notice that the name of the PDF is what shows up both in the subject line and the attached line. So, all right, so now that we got that set up, we can go ahead and do some work in Outlook and LandDB and get that to work out well. So what we're after here in Outlook is basically making a rule that will tell us when our message has been delivered, and that it will take a copy of that message and put it in a folder so that we know that we sent it. And we've got a chronological list of the orders that we send out. So if we ever get questions or we need to go back and look, we can go to the day that we think we sent it. We don't have to search through our entire sent mail email box. So how we're going to do that here is we're going to go into the File tab up here at the top. We're going to go into Manage Rules and Alerts. And we're going to make us a new rule. We want it to apply on messages that I send. And we're going to have specific words in the subject that's going to trigger this rule. So I'm going to get in there and click on those blue words and put work order. That's going to be our key words that make this rule happen. Once we get that in, it says, so when I send a message and there's work order in the subject line, what do you want to do with it? I want you to notify me when it was delivered. I want you to notify me when it was read. And I want you to take that, a copy of that message, and I want to move it to a specific folder. So you can see how it just lines these tasks up down through here. So hit next. Whoop. Specified folder. So I have to tell it where I want that. I'll put it in basically in a folder by itself, and I'll say new. And that'll make a folder down here by itself. Okay. So when it says work order in the subject line, it doesn't have to be capitalized. Will notify me when it's read, notify me when it was delivered, and it will move a copy of it into my sent work orders folder. Hit next. And I don't want any exceptions, so I'll just hit next again and finish. Whatever you want to name it. You can call it finish. And basically what it's telling you here is this will only work when you're using your computer. It's not going to work if you do this from your phone. This rule lives on your client that runs on your computer. Okay. So now we can go back here and we'll just test it real quick. I'll make a email here, send it to my Gmail account, and I'll put work order. Put test in there. And we'll hit send. So in a few seconds here, once it gets done sending, we should get a delivery confirmation back from the Gmail server. So there, it's relayed, and we'll get, that'll show up in our inbox. You also see that down here it will say sent work orders. And so once it gets that delivery confirmation back, it's going to say, yep, it made it there. So I'm going to take a copy of that and I'm going to put it in my sent work orders. Okay, so we'll go ahead and clean that out. And go up here to our inbox. Clean that out as well. Okay. So now, let's do one out of LandDB. We'll just show you how that works. So I got a work order started here. Let's go ahead and we'll put it in the growing season. Put me. Let's grab our potato products. Got the latest in there. Sources, and we'll say that this is a ground broadcast app, and we will complete the work order. Okay, instead of sharing it, which just sends a blank work order out that we can't track, we're going to print it. So we'll hit print, it'll bring up that preview, and you can pick your different types of work orders here. So if there's one you like and one you don't, you can move it out. When you get the one you want, hit PDF, and that should bring up that default viewer, or well, it should bring up to save. So let's just go ahead and we'll put this in work order. And I'll call this work order 190 206 1733. Save. It'll bring up a preview. So once you've got that up, you can hit the email button, and it will ask you this once. So right now it's going to see it. It's going to send it with Outlook, which is what we want because we set that up before. And we're just going to continue. So now we've got a work order. You'll notice that we have in the subject line, we've got our keywords, which is important. And then we'll send it to my Gmail account again. And hit send. So now that work order's been sent out. If we click to that, we can go to the sent items. And you can see that it's left. So quickly here, we should be getting back a confirmation, which we did. So it said, yep, it's made its delivery point, and it's in our sent work orders. So there again, you've got a chronological time frame of when you sent that and who you sent it to. So if you got a contact, of course, it's right there. And you can sort, filter without having to go through all your stuff. Now, alternately, if we were to send that to, so let's try that again. So instead of sending that to my Gmail account, let's send it to my Outlook account. We'll go there. So we've been sent, back to Outlook. Okay, it took a copy of it and put it in that. There's our latest one. The inbox. So it's updating. So there it says it's delivered. And there is the actual PDF. Now, if I go in and read that, it will say, do you want to send a receipt? Yes. And so when that gets all said and done, you will have a delivered email that says that your email is delivered, and one will show up here that is also opened. But like I said, you can't get that with some webmail stuff. You'll always get the delivered one, but some webs don't support the red receipt. That's basically all there is to it. So that gives you a really quick way to send out a work order to a third party or somebody internally, and you can say, hey, I sent it to you last Friday at 8 o'clock. It got to you. Check out your inbox. Maybe it got stuck in the filter. Anyways, if you got any questions, get a hold of me. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Thanks.